Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Friday, June the 29th, the year 2018. Let's talk trading. The weekly wrap up and the monthly wrap up. All on the same day here. End of the month, last trading day of the month. So, let's see what's been going on here. Hopefully, this month you have employed in practice good money and risk management. Please let me know if this is helping. And the month, it looks like we're going to end in the upper wick zone of the previous month's candle on the dollar yen. That's no surprise there, right? Maybe next month I'll switch over to dollar Canadian. Maybe some of you guys are getting tired of looking at dollar yen. Let me know. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop trading it, but maybe I'll just display a different pair. Then again, maybe I'll stick with it to show you month after month. You don't have to switch. Let me know what you think. And here we go on the weekly. You can see it looks like we want to make a new weekly high. Only 3 pips off the weekly high, 2 pips. And we still only had one gap not fill. Now, remember, my buddy had told me something about the CAD Japan, or was it Aussie Japan? I think it was Aussie Japan that he told me about. And I believe I was in somewhere around 81.17 yesterday when we did that video. Well, you can see what happened today. So it looks like, maybe there's something to his method. Might have to see what happens there. I'll have to study it. We've got some movement here. All these are over 100 pips in range. A lot of movement today. Not sure what triggered it, but sometimes it doesn't matter the why. That's what happened. So, looking at the dollar yen, yesterday's high breakout. It's 11 pips above it, 12 pips now. Not a bad trade, right? And looking at the dollar yen, you probably got scratched or stopped here. You may have gotten scratched or stopped here if you put your stop at the open. Here you got paid off. Right, none of these trades are beginning buy zone trades for the beginning traders, but maybe the more experienced traders would have taken a chance and it would have paid off. That's the hindsight, right? And as you can see, we've got a very narrow range, 41, call it 42 pips, but just not much range at all. So rat zone trade really isn't in effect today. Almost hit the pivot. Almost, but not quite. Maybe on some platforms, but not on this particular one. And you can see here, missed it by 1 pip because I round up. I really hate that fifth. That, in this case, third, that extra, the point. I just hate it. I wish they never done it. But you got to trade what is. Okay, here we go. 3, red at the line. Should have paid off for you. And it's just simple. Simple, simple, simple. Once again, looking at the 5 lines from the previous daily session, you can see taking the H1 candle color at the line, once again, proves to be profitable. Okay, we got the wick zone. Price doesn't like staying in the wick zone. It just doesn't. We've got holo zone here. You can see touch and gone. We're back into it. So this is top of the hour. You could look for a short at the 74. And I just switched over to this profile. And as you can see here, bid got above value of the ask and price has been going up. So we want to wait for the ask to get below the peak of the bid for selling to commence. So here we go. Looks like we're trying to make a new high right there. And once again, you can see the IRB, inventory reduction bars. There was a trigger here. There was a trigger here. And just using daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, low. Once again, trigger lines. And you see what happens. Looks like we're about to make a new high. Maybe we'll get a blow off top. And then people profit take for the end of the month. Okay, Einstein line. This is when I opened. There was a long there. Good for just a couple of pips or a scratch. And once again, just looking here at the previous high, previous low plots. I should probably change those to dots. Might be actually a little less distracting to look at. So if we go back here for the month, actually maybe I should put a dashboard up here for the month. We could see what prices have been doing. I think there was a, well, maybe we could do it here on the inventory reduction. Switch over to monthly time frame. That really doesn't give me what I wanted to see. Let's see, I think we had this on, is it 5 minute? I don't remember. Yeah, I think that's where we had it before. Maybe it was 15. I'll have to look at another video. Doesn't really matter. We could put it on 15. And you can see here the selling that just happened. But now we're going back into buys. For some strange reason, I'm having difficulties this week. I don't know where the video just left off. I'm not sure what I'm clicking on to mess things up. So let me just work backwards here. These lines are the previous bar or candles high and low. You can see that there. Just to see what happens, you can see we had a breakout. And so we could probably ride in the trade until price comes below. You can see it here. You broke above, and then right here you broke below. So then you can take your profit and go the other way if you want to go both ways. I know there's a word for that, but this is a family show, right? And here we go. Once again, a trigger worth about even, because you got to remember there's a spread associated with this. And I've got this set about 2 spreads worth. So actually, if you took a trigger here, you'd only give up about a spread in price. And if you took the buy at 76, you'd be up a little over a pip. I mean, if you're swinging $100 a pip, you just made yourself a bill. And so here, once again, daily, weekly, monthly, open, high, low. See here, we put in a new weekly high. There's the monthly high, 89. Last previous week's high, 75. It popped through it, which, remember, that would be a weekly wick zone. Price doesn't like to what? Stay in the wick zones. Inventory reduction bars. Once again, trigger there. Such long trigger there if you caught that one. If you missed it, there was another one there to catch. And once again, you can see how this works right there. Buying commenced. You probably got in around, let's call it 74. And you could have popped out at 78 if you wanted. That's 4 pips in the bag in a short amount of time. Now, some people say, well, that's not much, but just playing off the price action, that's what you get to take. Of course, if you waited for this crossover, you'd give back a spread's worth, so you'd make 3 pips. And once again, we're still here looking for a short at 74, which, according to the Einstein line, price would still be above where I opened this portfolio at, or this profile rather. And so looking back at the weekly, we had one not fill. Well, let's just take a closer look. You can see here, weekly high 76.056, and the weekly close was 76.059. So it missed it by 3 points. That's pretty much as good as a hit. So if you, once again, it would have been a profit had you taken that trade. So weekly gaps paying off. They pretty much paid off the entire month. And you can see what's happening with dollar yen. What it's going to do next week, next month, we'll just have to wait and see. No crystal balls here. So, fellow traders, there's a few videos I did last or this week about, why you're not getting better at trading. One of the ones I really want to mention or reiterate once again is the plan, do, check, and act. You have to practice these things. Okay? So if you don't practice, and if you don't try to incrementally improve each and every day, you're not going to get better at trading or anything else if you don't try to incrementally improve. We're not looking for these huge improvements, just a little better each and every day, just a little bit, because it has a compounding effect. And that's what we want you to do. So think about it over the weekend, next month. Really look hard at your trading and maybe think, what's my weakest point? Or maybe what's my strongest, weakest point? In other words, something that you're almost there, you're just not quite there. Pick that to work on next month and see if you can get there. Just that one little thing that, you're just struggling. Hey, we've got the yen making new highs there. You're struggling with, and make that your goal to improve it by the end of the month where you can tick that off your list. So think about that. And remember, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So I hope you had a good week and a good month of draining the banks. And hey, enjoy the weekend. We got a holiday coming up next week.